Okay, welcome back everyone. Welcome to a new trading week. This is Jeff here with FXMindshift, and this is your Sunday weekly review. So as you can see from the calendar this week, we have a couple of big high impact events that you need to be aware of, or at least pay attention to. Wednesday, we've got the FOMC statement, FOMC press conference. This is going to be pretty significant because we're expecting the Feds to cut interest rates on Wednesday. So we're going to see how that's going to affect the dollar. Normally, when we get a Fed interest rate cut, the dollar weakens and we see the dollar go lower. And there are certainly some implications behind that, but we won't know exactly what happens, obviously, until the rate comes out and we see what happens with the market. So this is going to be happening on Wednesday. Thursday, we also have a big one, which is for GBP, the official bank rate votes and monetary policy summary. So this is going to certainly have a big impact on GBP pairs. And we're certainly going to see some GBP moves, late in the week. So Wednesday and Thursday, these big events here happening in the middle of the week. Obviously, when I have these on the calendar, I always advise you guys to get your trading done earlier in the week if you can, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And Wednesday because FOMC doesn't come out until 2 p.m., which is late in the afternoon. Which means that you could get, your trading done in London and New York, no problem, before we actually see, FOMC rates come out. So, if you can, obviously I'd advise you to get your trading done, by Wednesday. Then, Thursday and Friday kind of kick back and watch as the things unfold. Friday, we just have this one kind of, red folder here for GBP, early in the London session. So after Thursday's moves, maybe, there's something that sets up on Friday. But obviously that's going to be, after we see all of the big moves and what happens in the aftermath after the rates come out. So, having said that, take, everything I say here today with a grain of salt because this is the start of the week, right? So what I project and what I, cover with you guys today obviously could change by the middle of the week because we have these big high impact events, right? So, keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the charts here. Let's go over to the DXY chart here. So as you can see here from the monthly top down perspective, we can see that price is still bearish and we would still expect price to continue to go lower here. This is the target that I have projected for price to come down, just below the $100 mark, below the lows because we got that big consolidation and the lows down here. So that's going to be the obvious target for me to come down. The rate cut, obviously, if price does, react the way we expect it to and the dollar does go lower, that certainly could be, when it takes it out. Okay. But keep in mind that these are all monthly candles and price doesn't necessarily need to take that out, right now. Right. So, while I do expect it to come down and take that out at some point, this could be when it does it. It could, it could be later. And, seeing as how each of these candles represents a month, price could still decide that it wants to stay inside this consolidation. We could still see price holding low here, and make its way back up. And we could still see, months of consolidation before it actually comes down, and takes that level out. So, while I would like to see Wednesday's results resulting in price coming down and taking that out and having the dollar go lower, it's still up in the air, what's going to happen. So we need to see what happens, and then, make our assessment from there. So, if we do see price holding that level there, and price doesn't take out that low, then we could see a retracement back up into the range because we still have this big monthly imbalance here, that price could still come up into, and consolidate still, right? So we can still hold into that level. So, let's take a look at the weekly chart. Let's see if we can see a little bit, clearer into maybe a weekly perspective. So as we saw from last week, we saw price come in and take out this low, this intermediate low here, just barely though, with a little wick, okay, just below. So we came down, we took out the liquidity below that level. We held the big range, okay, so we're still inside this big consolidation range here, but we're at a deep discount here and we're holding this level here, and price has not yet breached that low here from August, right? So it was the August 19th week right there, that low. So prices managed to stay above that bullish candle, right? So you can see here, this candle has held, this candle has continued to go up. So we're looking at price, maybe looking for, you know, an upward sweep back into the range first, right? So although we are expecting price to continue down, as I said, you know, as long as we're holding this low here, price will continue to trade back up into this range here, and we've got, you know, areas that we can trade up into, back up in the range. There's an imbalance here, we've got an imbalance up here, and we've got also an OB up here as well. So price could certainly, you know, create the low here and work its way back up, right, to make a lower high before coming down, right? And that could also take some time. So doesn't necessarily mean that the FOMC statement or the high impact news this week will be, you know, just coming down and taking that low. We could see the retracement before it does that. So that's why we need to wait and see how those you know, news events affect the markets, and then we can make an assessment after that. But as it looks right now, we can see that price is bearish, right? And we are continuing to continue down and looking to take out the lows here, right? So that is the next target that I'm expecting price to do. But as long as price holds this low here and this level, which is just about 150, right? That level there, we'll see price continue to trade back up in here and hold. So when we break this level here, then we can look for shorts, the continuation down to take out the lows from there, right? Let's take a look at the daily and see if there is anything we can further scrutinize from the daily. So here's that daily low, okay, and as you can see, price has continued to hold. The OB here, we see the reaction from that, although we didn't take out the high. So there's a good chance here that we do see price just continue to drop, and obviously we'll wait for market open to kind of show us that. But I feel like as long as we hold the level here, and I'll mark this OB just so you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, the level right here, okay, at the bottom. You can see the market already reacted to it once right here, and then we had a nice move to the upside. However, that move did not take out the previous structure. So this area still is, you know, still open, and I still, you know, feel like we could, you know, trade back up into here before moving lower. So, you know, the W that's created here right now, right? We've got a nice W that is being held. Okay, and you know, certainly moving back up into here before coming down would be a nice possibility. And I'd marked out this level here before, right? The OB at the top here, and then the imbalance in between, right? So making its way back into this zone here before coming down, certainly a good possibility, right? But the range that we're in right now on this daily is from this high to this low. So the way we can kind of gauge whether the market will make its run up here or make its way below here is whether or not we can break out of this range right now. You can see we're just inside this consolidation. So if we are able to make it above here, then we can look for price reaction in this region here for point of interest for a short down. If we don't make it above this and we just break through, then that's very likely going to be just a continuation lower from there, like this, right? And then we'll see price continue down from there as such. And keep in mind, as I said, that can all change with FOMC in the middle of the week. So if this doesn't happen by FOMC time, then we're going to have to, you know, basically wait till FOMC comes out to, you know, make the assessment after that. Okay, so that'll be the outlook for the dollar. Let's go over to euro dollar. Okay, and so euro dollar from a monthly perspective looks pretty much like a flip version of the dollar, right? We're expecting it to go higher, okay, and this level here is going to be the next target, and that's going to be roughly around 112 or 113, big figure. Okay, we already took out this internal high over here, and if you remember, my expectation was for price to come down back into this monthly OB here before making its way up again and through. So I still expect it to do that. However, it's not, you know, it hasn't come down as far as I've expected it to. So we certainly could see, it doesn't have to come down all the way to the monthly OB. We could see just, price come down into the imbalance a little bit and then pop up from there. So if we look at the weekly, and we take a look at the weekly, we can see that there's still a retracement happening here after we've taken out this high. So this move down into this weekly OB right here is currently where we're seeing a reaction. Okay, so the reaction from this weekly OB right now, creating the low and then moving up and through, okay, is what we're expecting. So if we look at that from a daily zoomed in view here, okay, we can see we've got a nice swing low created here, right? Price is doing sort of a bearish move, bearish structure move down. So, lower lows and lower highs like this. Okay, so we can expect price to move down further into here, and then we'll see if we get a run below the low or if we get the low to hold. But I'm expecting something like this to happen this week. Okay, so whether we take out the low here and then move up, or we hold and then move up, either one of those, I want to see if we get that, because the weekly OB here is where I'd like to see it hold. Now, the other extreme is going to be coming all the way down here because we have the imbalance in the OB here, but that's going to be if we get the break of this low. So I want to see if we hold here first, right? And if we don't, then we'll get the break below and then into here. Okay, but at the start of the week, we're going to expect price to be bearish first, right, before the start back up, right? And that's going to be congruent with what we're expecting from FOMC, because FOMC isn't until the middle of the week. So, the dollar may go up first, right? Then we get the rate cut in the middle of the week, and then we see the dollar go down. And that'll be where EU goes back up, right? So EU will come down first, and then it'll go back up. So that's going to be the expectation for me anyway for EU. Pretty similar for GU as well. But let's take a look at the 4-hour first here from EU, just so that we can make sure everything is lining up with what we're expecting, right? So take a look at the H4, right? Here's where we expect EU to come down first. We've got all of this imbalance here. We've got the low here that we took out from this low here. Right, we've got the change of character and the push, so I'm expecting price to hold the lows here, right? And let's see if we can get that to hold. And basically, we're going to look for a move down into here and then a continuation up. Okay, and that's this turnaround point. Hopefully, will align with FOMC if we can get it to work that way. All right, now GU, very similar. All right, from a monthly perspective, we can see that we are still bullish, right? So we are expecting still price to continue higher. And just like EU, I wanted to see price come back into the monthly OB here before making its move up. Okay, so that hasn't changed. Obviously, we have this bearish candle here that's still bearish. So if we go to the weekly, we can see that we're still in a weekly pullback as well, right? So if we can, moving towards this weekly OB, obviously we're into the top of the mitigation here, so we're already into the imbalance, and there's certainly an argument that we can make that price can just move from here. Okay, and because we left the week bullish here, that's certainly a possibility. So if we do react from this point, right, so this being the swing low moving forward, that could be a possibility. We could still see a deeper retracement as well, though, I feel like. So if we go to the daily here, again, just like EU, we have this retracement, okay? We come back into here and go up, or we could see a further move down before moving up and then trading further into here. So, we have obviously a daily OB here that we target, right? But we are already into the mitigation from the low here. So just taking out this would be clearly sufficient, right? Taking that out, creating that swing low, and then moving back up, right? Once you see the change of character back up, that will be the indication, right? So right now we can see that price is only making lower lows and lower highs, Okay, so if we do that, we're still going to expect price to continue to go lower, right? And once we get the change of character back up, then we would expect price to go up from there, and that would be the turnaround point. Okay, so look for that this week. That'll be the cue, and then we can look for price to move up from there. From the 4-hour perspective, we can see that price has already done the change of character, which is why I'm expecting price to hold. Okay, so we have this level here, basically is the big sweeping level, right, where we got the liquidity sweep from the lows. So here's where I'm expecting price to turn around from the 4-hour structure, and then to move up from there. Okay, so that's what I'll expect this week. And again, this being the turnaround, the FOMC turnaround at the middle of the week. All right, so that is for GU. Next, we'll go over to gold. And so gold kind of didn't do what I expected this week. I thought that we would get, a little retracement first before seeing price move up. That obviously didn't happen. Well, we did get retracement, just not as much, just not really much of a retracement at all. And we saw price kind of blast through that 2,500 mark again. So once again, here we are, showing no signs of slowing down. Very bullish gold. And, again, we'll wait for the FOMC release to see if, that sends gold higher, because if dollar continues to drop, then we're going to expect gold to continue to climb. From a weekly standpoint here, you can see that the consolidation was basically traded through, right? In the weekly markups, you can see that the swing high here level that we were expecting, the retracement, did not happen. The OB here still intact. Okay, so obviously we didn't even get down to this OB level, and we just saw price go up from there, right? So we could see the next push from the OB here, right? We don't necessarily need to see it come down to this one here. This could be where we see the next tee off, right? Just coming back into that imbalance there, and then moving forward. Obviously, this all hinges upon what happens Wednesday, right? So just keep your eyes peeled for that. But I would be looking for continuation buys here until the FOMC release this week, right? And as we come down here on the daily, the next consolidation, okay, level right here is where I would expect price to key off from. Okay, so if we do come down into the level here, expect it to move through like that, right? And then from the 4-hour perspective, we don't have quite a swing high just yet. I mean, we do have a 3-bar, but after such a big move here, we could still see price go a little bit higher. So this, while I would like that to be the 4-hour high, it certainly doesn't mean that it will be. So once we see the retracement start to happen here, then we'll look for a continuation buy. This is where the imbalance starts. Okay, so it could roll all the way back down here, but it certainly doesn't need to. But that's, I would look for a retracement before the continuation buy this week, and that would, certainly be where FOMC kind of helps that along. All right, and then last but not least, we have NASDAQ. Okay, and NASDAQ also looking very bullish, or continuing to look very bullish here. This monthly wick here, okay, and you can see the retracement into about the halfway point now, into that monthly OB. Okay, so this is probably where we'd expect price to hold the low here and continue back up now. From a weekly standpoint here, you can see the long wick from the last reaction. Okay, and then this, basically this kind of fast up, fast down railroad track candle holding that wick from that last reaction. So coming back to this level here, which I wanted to see come back to last week, which we didn't. Looks like we're going to make a run for that this week here. It certainly looks like it could be a possibility. So if we go to the daily, right, that's the equal highs up here, okay, and the imbalance above here, right? And we can see now this is a nice kind of V-shaped fast down, fast up move. Looking to take out all of that here. So look for a continuation buys on NASDAQ this week, right? Leading up to FOMC, right? And then after that, we can obviously make an assessment whether it's going to be a big turnaround or just a little dip or something like that. and then from there we can kind of see where we go from there. All right, but this is kind of where I would target right now going into the new week. All right, pretty short and sweet here. 4-hour chart doesn't really make any difference. You're looking at the 4 hours, still looking very bullish. Here's where we saw price take the liquidity and basically drive straight through and up, right, giving us the change of character. And then here's the liquidity target once again. This level here being 19, looks like 19,650, okay, and then eventually, of course, taking out the entire structure above here, so making its way back up into that 20K level again. All right, looking at the retracement here, obviously we'll look for the first pullback, okay, and into here, right? This will be the first area that we watch for coming into this low, okay, and then seeing it push off from there. The retracement's already happening, right? So we can certainly see it move into there, and then push up into that into those highs. All right, so that's what I'll be expecting this week. And there's a big caveat with the FOMC release, right? And also the GBP monetary policy statement and bank rate votes on Thursday. If you can, get your trading done before Wednesday's New York session, right? And then, you know, after everything kind of settles and the dust settles in the aftermath, we can make our, you know, kind of projections for how we move forward after everything has moved. All right. For those of you guys that have any questions, obviously you can drop some comments below in the video. For those of you that have not joined our free academy, there's a link below in the description to do that. I always post these kind of reviews into our free academy members, and they'll get first dibs to those, you know, before I post this on the YouTube. If you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, obviously you get them as well, just a little bit later. And if you'd like to see the ongoing kind of daily analysis throughout the week, I encourage you guys to join the VIP. And that's where you're going to get the day-by-day pre-market analysis and how, you know, each day I look at, you know, what happens and what we'd expect to happen for the ongoing week. Because obviously this is just the beginning of the week and the Sunday review. So if you want to see, you know, what happens after FOMC and what I, you know, expect to happen after all the moves are made, then you want to join the VIP, and there's a link to do that below in the description as well, right? If you're already a free member, you can upgrade from the dashboard in your membership. And if you have any questions on that, just go ahead and send me a message and I'll kind of walk you through it, right? But that's going to do it for this review, guys. Hopefully you guys found some value in that. If you have any questions, just let me know. But otherwise, good luck with your trades this week, and hope everyone enjoys, you know, the roller coaster that we're inevitably going to be seeing this week with all the news. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.